Mighty is the Lord our God, give praise to his great name. Saints of earth and hosts of heaven proclaim abroad his name. Come rejoicing, shout Hosanna, that all men might sing.
Good morning and welcome to Focus on the Bible. I am so glad that you are listening. I want to begin by inviting you to our services at Eastside. At 9 o'clock for worship, followed by Bible classes for all ages at 9:30, and then at 10:30 for a second period of worship. In addition, we meet at 6 on Wednesday evenings for Bible study. We'd love to have you come and visit with us soon. Last week, we began a lesson of the challenges that we face, particularly conquering the Goliaths in our lives. We used the centerpiece of our study, 1 Samuel 17, and the actual David and Goliath story. We saw the challenges that were faced there. There is Goliath's challenge in the first 11 verses of 1 Samuel 17. And there's David hearing Goliath's challenge in verses 12 through 39. And then finally there is David meeting Goliath's challenge in verses 40 through 54. Remember, Goliath is a giant of a man, enormously tall and enormously strong. He has terrified even the king of Israel. Nobody wants to face this man, and yet David meets the challenge, a man after God's own heart. We talked about the fact that in order to face the challenges that we have in our lives, to defeat our Goliaths, we need to see our Goliaths the way David saw Goliath. He didn't see him as a giant of a man, a fearsome man. He saw him as a reproach against God. David is the victor. He wins with flying colors against Goliath because he has the courage to call things as he sees them. And if you want victory, you want to make certain that you see the way David saw Goliath and call it like it is. And going right along with that this morning, I want to talk about the fact that we need to stand up to our Goliaths with tried and true faith. You will not be successful against the spiritual Goliaths that we face without a faith-building history. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I want you to think for a moment. How do you picture David in 1 Samuel 17? Unfortunately, many people see David as kind of a little boy, a little starry-eyed dreamer, maybe just a little bit of out of touch with reality, kind of a mystical gaze to him, just a kid. Well, let's update our image of David just a little bit. Notice 1 Samuel 17, beginning in verse 34. But David said to Saul, "Your servant used to keep sheep for his father. And when there came a lion or a bear and took a lamb from the flock, I went after him and struck him and delivered it out of his mouth. And if he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and struck him and killed him. Your servant has struck down both lions and bears, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be like one of them, for he has defied the armies of the living God." And David said, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." And Saul said to David, "Go, and the Lord be with you." David wasn't a little boy. Little boys don't keep valuable sheep, and little boys don't fight and kill bears. And let me tell you as well that David was not a naive dreamer, nor was he a blind man. David had a plan. He had sized up his opponent. He had made some decisions about strategy. He rejected some tactics and ideas that would not work when Saul attempted to put his armor upon him. And he went forth into battle. But the nucleus of everything that he was doing was his confident belief that he would overcome this enemy, because he had overcome similar enemies. Do you see that? What I have done in the past gives me courage to go forward in the future. David tells the lion and the bear stories to say, I have dumbfounded opponents before. I have been outweighted before. I have been intimidated before. David's whole feeling is, been there, done that. Get out of my way, and I will do it again. For David, it is the success of the past that gives him so much confidence to move forward into the future. And it is important, as you look at verse 37, to notice that David knows why he has been successful. Notice verse 37 again. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. He gives God the credit. David has an ongoing relationship with God. It is a relationship of faith. And he is more than willing to say, God has brought me thus far. Together the Lord and I have come this far. God has been there for me. God does not abandon me. And based on what God and I have been able to do before, I am ready to go again. And this is exactly what we need today. This same kind of quiet confidence. I need to remember the places where God delivered me, the places where God helped me, the times when I thought I had no place to turn, and then suddenly God made a way for me. Now maybe you're thinking, oh Aaron, we don't live in the age of miracles today, and I understand that. But I will tell you what, I don't see any miracles in 1 Samuel 17. Do you? David does not say, I'll tell you what, went out against a lion, God turned him into a lizard, just stomped on him. No. David does not say, came up against a bear, by the time that bear was about to eat me, God threw a big old thunderbolt down and killed that bear for me. I had roasted bear for dinner. Nope. Nor does David go out against Goliath and suddenly Goliath is killed by God. In every one of these episodes, in all of these battles, David is the operative instrument. He fights. He works. He throws the stone. And then God uses and blesses what David is doing to bring about a great victory. And what is wonderful about David is that he was smart enough to know that he and his slingshot weren't out there all by themselves. He uses victories to build faith because he gives God the credit. And that is what you and I need. In the places that we have struggled, in the times that we have planned and worked, and then, yes, finally overcome, then we must realize that it was God that used what we were doing. It was God that blessed our efforts. It was God that providentially applied what we were about so that we would overcome. We need to wake up and be an awful lot more thankful for God's hand in our lives. When we do that, then we can use our past history to say, I have come this far with God's help, and that means I believe I can take another step today. Next time, we'll conclude our story about David and Goliath and understanding how to defeat our challenges that we face the way that David did by discussing the fact that we should not listen to those who say that these Goliaths can't be defeated. Can't do that. Can't listen to the naysayers. We have to listen to God in faith. We'll talk about that next time. In the meantime, I would love for you to check out our YouTube channel. You can find this lesson and many others, a Bible reading program that'll take you through the New Testament in a year, and our live stream. Love to have you check out our YouTube channel. You can Google search Eastside Church of Christ in Scottsboro, Alabama, or go directly to Eastside Church of Christ in SC 430. That is Eastside Church of Christ in SC 430. If you're struggling to find our YouTube channel, you can reach out directly to me at 256-349-8911. Leave a message or give me a text. I'll be happy to send you the link. Thank you so much. Looking forward to continuing our study next week. Have a great and wonderful day.